welcome to Cornwall. This is Andy's Cornish Creations. In this video we're going to be making this little lantern with a little tea light inside it. Little Christmas ornament.
Okay, so I've got a piece of timber. It's just over 50mm, it's just over 2 inches square, and 3 3/4 inches long, which is about 94mm, and I've marked it 40mm up, which is inch and 5/8, and found the centre of each side. It's good to get it quite accurate as well, because later on you'll see if it's out of centre. And I'll make a little punch mark in the centre of each cross, just to give me a start with my drill. Over at the drill press, I'm going to drill with a what is that, 22mm, which is 3/4, just over 3/4 of an inch hole, straight through, and I'm going to go to about halfway with on each side with that drill bit. I'm doing it over at the drill press, so I'll come back when I've done that drilling. I've drilled through from all 4 sides, and now I'm going to find a live center. Now I'm going to hot glue this onto the glue block, and to do that I've got my centre marked at that end, which is the base, and if I bring up the tailstock into that centre mark and just line that up and tighten it against the glue block, that should be centred now. And I get some hot glue and hot glue it to the glue block. I'll just let that heat up a little bit more. Hot glue's ready now. This piece of wood that I'm using is a little bit on the short side. I would actually, rather than using the glue block, I would recommend just getting a piece another ½ inch longer, and you could turn a tenon on the end, mount it between centres, turn a tenon on the end and get it mounted onto a chuck. It'd be a much nicer method. But this is a piece of scrap wood, and it's nice to use up the scrap wood, so that's what I'm doing. And this is the best way to do it if your piece is a bit on the short side. So I just give that a few minutes to set, and while it's doing that, I can actually get ready for the next stage, which is drilling out up through the centre. And for that I'm going to use a 32mm, which is about 1.25 inch, Forstner bit, to drill up through the centre. I'll just give that a few more minutes. Okay, the hot glue's set, and I'm going to drill this up just past the holes. The speed's 400. You don't want it too fast, and just gently does it, especially if it's only on the hot glue block. Okay, the next stage is to get this tea light to fit up into the hole. This hole that I drilled up is slightly smaller than the tea light, so I've got something to butt it up against, and now I need a hole that's about the same size or very slightly larger. The tea light's just under 1.5 inches wide, which is 37mm. This is the nearest Forstner bit that I've got to it, which is I think a little bit narrower, just a tad narrower, but I can finish the hole off with a turned with a chisel. So what I need to do is to take this hole up the depth of the tea light, because I want it to sit up flush at the bottom. So again, at 400 revs per minute, we'll drill it up to the depth of the tea light. There we go. So that fits inside. That's great. Now I just need to turn the outside to round first, and then we'll start putting a bit of shape on there. Okay, I brought up the live centre just to give it a little bit of support, because remember we're still relying on the glue, and I'm going to turn it to round. Turn the speed up to 1000.
And here I'm using the 3/8 spindle gouge. Just working it down till it's round and there's no flats left. Try the back of the chisel on it just to see if there's any flat spots.
Right, we've got it to round. Now I just want to think about the design. Okay, first of all, I don't need this this full diameter. I don't want too much wood, too much thickness of wood in there, and I've got about 1/4 inch to play with, so I'm just going to turn it down a little bit in diameter. Okay. Now, I want a couple of beads at the bottom, and I want to leave a little bit below the hole, and then put a bead on, another gap, and a bead right down at the bottom. And then at the top, I'm also going to leave a gap, and then put a bead at the top, and then at the top the sort of roof of it will come in will slope in up to here, by which time I'll be able to turn it round hopefully and work from the other side. Perhaps I'll make that a little bit narrower. So get that bead there, and then those, see if I can do it on the round. So that's one bead, another bead, and the bottom bead. So we can turn those round and we can make this centre section a little bit thinner again, which will help to make it all look right. I use my 3/8 parting spindle gouge to create the beads now. Actually, what I could do, use the parting tool just to form them.
This is the record power thin parting tool, and then back to the 3/8 inch pointed skew.
The memory card was full up.
Back with the spindle gouge, just to flatten that little area between the beads, and then we can flatten the or decrease the diameter of the piece where the holes are.
Okay, that's looking okay. So now we'll start to shape the roof, and that's going to cut in at that angle.
Just making a bit of room there just to get the spindle gouging, and just creating a little shape to the roof. I'll only be able to get so far before I run out of space.
Okay, I think we can sand that up now. Start at 120 and go up to 400. Okay, so I think I'm going to highlight the beads with a little bit of a burnt line. So just cut in with the point tool, scraper. Take the tool rest out of the way and get the wire, remembering not get it the right way around, remembering not to wrap it around your fingers. We'll turn the speed up about 1500. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I think we'll apply a bit of finish now, just in case we can't later. But so it'd be abrasive paste and then some wood wax.
Work the wood wax in and turn up the speed to get a bit of heat on, and then remove the excess and buff it up at the end.
And there we are. Right, and while it's still fixed to that, we can just sand the bottom, remove the tailstock.
So sand the bottom and the inside. I use a bit of dowel here to do the inside, because you don't want to be sticking your finger in there when it's spinning.
So that's nice. Okay, what I'm going to try to do, I don't want, if I turn it around, I don't want this great big chunk of wood on the top of it spinning around, so I want to try and get some of that away. So I'm going to use the spindle gouge to try and come in and sort of almost part it off a bit further in there. We'll just see how it goes. I'll not keep it. It's at 900. I don't want to go too fast. Not much further now. I'll just try the slightly more pointed one. I have to be careful now because it might go through. Turn the speed down a bit and I'll try and catch the piece in case it does come off. There we go. See, now I've got a much smaller amount to turn when that's fixed onto a chuck or whatever. Right, and I do need a hole in the top so I can put a little wire through, so I'm just going to drill a hole through before I do any turning, so I get a neat to finish. So I'll try and get the hole straight through. Don't push too hard, else it'll break out at the other side and leave a nasty piece. That's okay. Okay, so I've got a piece of timber set in the jaws and just turn it down until it's a nice tight fit on there. Only a little bit more to go. Use a bit of sandpaper just to get that final fit. Okay, I managed to get it onto the jam chuck, and even got a bit of tailstock support. So let's make that shape.
Rarely really plan the shape of these little bits at the top, so I just make it up as I go along and see how sometimes it works out well, sometimes not so well. I quite like this little shape, so this worked out quite nicely.
Right, we'll just sand that now, just while we've still got that tailstock support.
So we'll sand it down to 400 and then we'll apply the abrasive paste and some wood wax.
Just get some support there. That's gone okay. Stuck out of the way. Just use some fine sandpaper just to finish the tip. And put a bit of wax on the end. There we go. There we are. And then we can pop the tea light in. Nice tight fit. And actually, we'll just turn the light off and turn the tea light on, and hopefully it'll show up. There we go. Yes, nice. Not too complicated little project. I think I got the idea from Mike Pierce video that I saw, and thought it was a nice idea. And so I was going to do one of those inside out ones, but I actually prefer these. I think it's a bit nicer, and yeah, it's not too complicated. You need a few tools, the Forstner bits and what have you, but yeah, nothing too complicated. And with little tea lights, little electric tea light. Obviously, you couldn't put one with a flame in, but yeah, really quite effective. And yeah, it'll look nice. It's not too heavy. Look nice hung on a stout tree. But there you go. Yeah, nice little Christmas project. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share. If you haven't subscribed, if you could subscribe, that'd be great, and ring the little notification bell to let you know when the next video's out. And yeah, so there you go. My name's Andy Paramore. This is Andy's Cornish Creations, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.